Why is the economy is rising? January 2026, the Great Resilience fast-paced montage of stock market tickers, busy construction sites, and headlines from 2024 and 2025 like recession looming or hard landing ahead. Just January 2026. Just 18 months ago, the consensus was clear. The world was heading for a hard landing. We were told that high interest rates, trade wars, and a cooling labor market would inevitably drag us into a global recession. Cut to a clean, modern 3D globe with upward-pointing green arrows, the number 2.8% global growth appears, but here we are, instead of a crash. The global economy is showing a level of resilience that has caught even the most pessimistic analysts off guard. Global GDP growth is holding steady at nearly 2.8%. In the US, unemployment is stabilizing, and in emerging markets we're seeing growth rates we haven't seen in years. Why is the economy rising today? We're breaking down the 4 specific engines driving this 2026 surge. We'll look at the AI capital boom, a massive shift in US fiscal policy, the surprising flexibility of global trade, and the rise of a new vanguard of emerging economies. Let's dive in. The AI infrastructure supercycle drone footage of a massive glowing data center in a cold climate. On-screen text, $2.5 trillion AI, spend the first engine and, the most visible is the AI. Supercycle. In 2024, AI was mostly about chatbots and hype. In 2026, it is about physical steel and silicon. According to Gartner, worldwide spending on AI infrastructure is set to hit $2.5 trillion this year alone. Chart showing hyperscaler capex Amazon, Google, Microsoft spiking from 2023 to 2026. We are no longer just talking about the cloud. You're building it at a scale never seen before. This isn't just a tech story, it's a construction and energy story. The demand for massive data centers has created a capex boom that is acting like a permanent stimulus for the manufacturing and utility sectors. B-roll of automated warehouses and software engineers at work, and we finally seeing the productivity dividend. Early data from the first few weeks of 2026 suggests that sectors like finance, legal services, and software development are reporting 15 to 20% efficiency gains. For the first time, AI is actually moving the needle on GDP by allowing companies to do more with the same amount of labor. This AI-driven productivity is the secret sauce keeping growth high even as interest rates remain significantly above zero. Pillar 2. U.S. resilience and the one big beautiful bill. The role of the U.S. Capitol in suburban shopping malls filled with people. The second engine is the sheer resilience of the American consumer, fueled by a specific shift in policy. Most economists expected the U.S. to slow down as the excess savings from the pandemic era finally ran dry. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act of 2025 with a summary of tax cuts instead. The economy got a second win from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act passed late last year. This legislation combined targeted business tax cuts with personal incentives that effectively acted as a fresh fiscal injection. It offset the drag from the trade tariffs we saw in 2025, providing businesses with the regulatory certainty they had been craving. Chart showing us household wealth reaching a new all-time high. At the same time, the U.S. labor market has settled into what we call a low-hire, low-fire equilibrium. While we aren't seeing the frantic Great Resignation hiring of a few years ago, layoffs remain historically low. This stability, combined with a record-high stock market, has created a wealth effect that is keeping consumer spending robust. People feel richer because their portfolios and homes are worth more and they are spending accordingly. Trade adaptation and the inflation cool-down map showing shipping routes rerouting through Mexico, India, and Vietnam. Arrows bypass traditional conflict zones. Engine number 3 is global trade adaptation. In 2025, the world was terrified of a trade war 2.0. And while tariffs did increase, the global supply chain proved to be much more flexible than anyone imagined. B-roll of a busy port in Vietnam or Mexico. We've seen the rapid rise of neutral hubs. Countries like Mexico, Vietnam, and India have successfully positioned themselves as the middlemen of global trade. Instead of trade stopping, it simply rerouted. This has kept the supply of goods flowing and prevented the supply-side shocks that caused the inflation of 2022. line graph showing global inflation dropping from 8% in 2022 to a projected 3.7% in 2026. Speaking of inflation, it is finally cooling. The IMF projects global inflation to settle around 3.7% this year, with U.S. core inflation potentially hitting 2.4% by December. Energy markets have also stabilized. With new production coming online from non-OPEC sources, the energy tax on the global economy has been lifted. This cooling inflation has given central banks the green light to finally plan for rate cuts in the second half of 2026, which is already lowering the cost of borrowing for home buyers and businesses today. India and the emerging market vanguard vibrant footage of Mumbai's skyline and high-tech manufacturing plants in India. Finally, we have to talk about the vanguard of the emerging world. While some parts of the globe are still struggling with debt, a new group of leaders is pulling the average upward. India is the undisputed star of 2026. On track for 6.6% growth, a decade of digital infrastructure investment, and a massive Make in India push have finally reached a tipping point. India isn't just a service hub anymore. It is becoming a manufacturing powerhouse. B-roll of new highways and digital payment interfaces. This growth is contagious. Across South Asia and parts of Southeast Asia, we're seeing a rise in domestic consumption. These countries are no longer just exporters to the West. They're becoming their own engines of demand. This diversification means that even if the US or China slows down slightly, the global economy now has multiple spare tires to keep the wheels turning. The path to 2027 visual, soft, optimistic music starts. Montage of a diverse range of people using tech and walking in green cities. So, why is the economy rising? It's rising because it's transforming. We are moving from a world of cheap money to a world of AI-driven productivity. We are moving from a single global supply chain to a resilient, multipolar trade network. Outro screen with like and subscribe, and the question, is your local economy feeling the rise? Challenges remain. Job displacement and high public debt are the clouds on the horizon, but for now, the engines are firing. The economy didn't just survive the 2020s, it's being rebuilt for the 2030s. Thanks for watching.